All right, welcome to another altcoin hunt video. Today we're going to be diving into a new token. Apparently this has been in the works for some time. We're going to be talking about AiVille, token ticker AGT, brand new AI powered GameFi token that's basically riding the wave of autonomous agents on the BNB chain. It's already trending on Binance Square with over 1 million views and 8,700 active discussions, which are pretty impressive numbers in just a few days. But, is the hype backed by any substance? Well, that's what we're going to get into, and that's what we're going to break down. So, as usual, we're going to start with our narrative and vision. This is the game itself. I'm trying to get it to load up, but let's start with the website because I have quote unquote played it, although there's not much to play really yet. Anyway, this is their website. They're building a fully on-chain virtual society filled with autonomous AI agents, which are basically the little NPCs that you get in the game itself. They remember stuff, they evolve, they trade, and they're governed using AGT, which is the token itself. They're powered by the EMCP protocol, which we'll get into what that specifically is. So it's not just art tools or chatbots. They're aiming for basically like a digital farming life with memory and intent, for lack of a better metaphor there. The EMCP protocol, which I just mentioned, stands for Enhanced Multi-Agent Cognitive Protocol. So a lot of big AI buzzwords, and it's the foundational framework sort of behind their agents, which are these characters right here. So it doesn't look like the game is going to load for me. It did load on my mobile, and it seems to be mobile centric. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Hopefully it does load for me so I can at least give you a demo. But honestly, there's not much. If you've ever played like a Farmville on your phone, it's kind of just like that. You talk to the characters, you actually put in prompts, and then you do some farming. That's really all there is to it. And there's a marketplace and stuff. And of course, you can use their tokens. So anyway, back to EMCP. What it does is it allows AiVille's in-game AI agents to basically act like real characters. Oh, did we get in? We might have got in. It's really laggy too on the desktop, and the music is super annoying. So if the music starts playing, I might have to mute it. So anyway, it allows the AiVille agents to act like real characters. They remember stuff, they make decisions, they express emotions, et cetera, and they interact socially with others. So that's these folks right here. Think like The Sims, but your neighbors actually learn and evolve and sort of respond over time. How it works is that it uses on-chain memory and cognitive modeling. So agents aren't just like pre-programmed AI bots. They can kind of form relationships, adapt behavior. Think about like ChatGPT. As you enter more and more prompts, it's learning stuff, kind of like that, right? So why that matters is that most GameFi projects right now, they have really shallow mechanics. AiVille is trying to build a truly like living game with agents you don't just click on, you build a history with, right? And so the EMCP portion is kind of the engine for that. So they're positioning the AGT token as sort of the governance token that fuels the agent behavior, land purchases, you can purchase farm plots and stuff like that, and everything around the economy. With the BNB chain support via DAPBay and backing from via BTC Capital, which is sort of a big VC firm, AGT is pulling serious narrative weight. So for the narrative and vision, I'm going to give it a score of 17 out of 20. It's got good stuff in there, right? Whether or not they can actually deliver that is a different story. So let's move on to the tokenomics and the supply. We'll take a look at their website, and then we'll take a look at CoinMarketCap. Here you see this is what the AGT token looks like. So you trade, farm, and embark on quests, and then you can govern, vote, and unlock advanced features. AI can dynamically adjust prices, blah, blah, blah. You can buy energy, you can purchase land, upgrade your seeds, buy seeds, complete some quests, claim treasure chests, etc. Has governance voting, which is the DAO, access to exclusive market privileges, yada, yada, yada. We'll get actually into this in another section, but let's take a look at the max supply. It's 10 billion AGT, but their self-reported circulating is 1 billion, right? I've gotten different numbers for this. I've gotten 2.6 billion, but whatever, it is what it is. So the market cap's around 3.6 million and FDV is 31 million. they have a decent volume, right? The volume is more than the cap, but it just released. It literally just came out this morning. No, sorry, June 10th. So it's been out for a couple of weeks now. And, the pros are it's got good in-game incentives for users, right? It'll keep them coming back. And there's utility tied to governance and land. The cons are that there's a large team. There's a lot of investor holdings. So you really got to watch out for dilution as these tokens sort of unlock. And for that reason, I'm going to give the Tokenomics and Supply a 14 out of 20. Moving on, tech and execution. So this part, I had a hard time grading. It's honestly a toss-up. Like, I don't mind. They have a good roadmap here. They've done the beta release, right? They've done the integration. This is Q2 of this year. They're going for a modular AI framework for Web3 games, service provider, and a AI agent network later on this year and into next year. It's actually a weird way to do it, but I guess you follow the path, so to speak. A GitHub exists for them. They have a website. They have a documents that you can reference and gameplay setup, right? Like, this game actually works. It's not loading for me right now for whatever reason. But again, like I said, it's not much in there. They have live campaign rewards on BNB with a lot of prize money involved. And then obviously you can use the in-game currency and convert it to AGT, which is the actual token. They also have this cute little survival guide that I thought was nice. It's like when you just start, and the images don't work either, but this is kind of, you can see in the background kind of what the game looks like. Yeah, so it's interesting, but again, I wouldn't put too much into it. Like, the game is still really, really raw. So it's not yet fully playable, and it's kind of janky. It's slow to respond. So it needs some work, but they do have something, right? They do have something, which is half the battle. So tech and execution, 8 out of 20. I mean, the game is kind of meh, to be honest with you. I wish I could show it, but whatever reason, it just keeps getting stuck at 90%. So it's kind of meh. Like, the roadmap is good. I think they have a decent idea here for something, but the how the game looks and how it operates, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. So we'll leave that as 8 out of 20. We'll go on to market and liquidity really quick. 24-hour volume, again, very active, 24 million. Already talked about that. They're listed on Pancake Swap, which is very popular. They're trending on BNB Square. So there's high buzz, but it's still early stage liquidity. There's no major centralized exchange listing this yet. So if you're in this, be prepared for volatile price swings, right? I'm going to give market and liquidity a 15 out of 20. Not much there, but not much cons to talk about. So last section here, exit risk and transparency. The project is fairly transparent, right? They have an active Twitter. They have a link tree, and they have a Telegram. They have a Discord. They actually post their GitHub, so you can see what they're doing on there. The BNB chain support and community campaigns are, suggest credible development. There's no formal audit yet, which is kind of a negative. And again, the major holdings by the team and investors pose, potential vesting risk, right? Like, this is a lot. 20% for the team, 20% for, they actually misspelled investors. This is inverters, and then 10% treasury voting rewards. So that doesn't make me feel good either, that they have a spelling error there. That's pretty bad. So anyway, exit risk and transparency, I gave it maybe a little bit of a too high of a score. I gave them a 15 out of 20. The transparency really weighed heavily on me, right? You can see their GitHub. They're active on X. They're active on Discord. So you can see what's going on. It's not hidden from view. That's pretty much it for the scores, and that gives us a final verdict of 65 out of 100. It's shaping up to be a real good contender for the AI GameFi sort of space. It's feeding digital societies with autonomous agents. That's bold, and they've captured good attention. But the full game isn't live yet. The current game is, leaves a lot to be desired, and token dilution is definitely a future concern. So if you believe in community-driven worlds, AI worlds, AGT is worth watching, but obviously stay sharp. My take is that it's a high concept, high beta type of flagship game. It's high risk, high upside, but, play smart, don't play dumb. And that's pretty much it for AiVille. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.